Hi, everyone. This is Brian Toone here with my lovely wife, Kristine, and we are all excited about this year's edition of the Race Across America. And the thing that we wanted to show everyone right now is some of the tools you can use to follow the race. It's quite an exciting race. I believe the top 10 competitors are very close, within 100 miles or so of each other, which is um, really close considering how far into the race they are. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So the first thing is in your web browser, if you go to raceacrossamerica.org, live tracking, which I've already got loaded here into Kristine's browser, which has a million tabs open. This is the main live tracking page. No app to install or anything, although if you insert /phone here, /live tracking, it'll take you to the mobile version. And there's a link there. But in any case, you've got the main map. You can zoom in, see everyone. But if you want to see where everyone is at in terms of the lead of the race, you can click on leaderboard. And when you click on leaderboard, it remembers your last sort, but I'm not sure what order it starts out in. So you may want to, maybe alphabetical order or something. But if you click on route mile, you may have to click on it twice because I think it defaults to last place first. Click on it a second time and you can see the leaders and where they're at. And you can see that Pierre Bischoff is leading right now at 900 miles, which means he's only got 28 more miles, or 32 more miles, I guess, 928 miles total to get to the Durango time station, which is the end of Raw. Marco Bello is right behind them. Team Dizzy, I'm not sure who this guy is. Mark Pattison, who's done well in the past. And then Dave Haas, who's also done well in the past, round out the top 5.
They're only like
there's 70 miles. Yeah, 75 miles between them. And then he's only a mile behind that, 8 miles behind that, 3 miles behind that. And then there's a little bit bigger of a jump, 34 miles. Then it's close again. Shauna, and so on. So now I want to talk about some of the specific racers, some of my friends and the leaders, where they are and what they're facing right now. And one of the first people I want to talk about is Sarah Cooper.
I'm trying to convince Brian that it's way more fun on this side of the computer than actually being on the bike. But thus far, he's not bought into that. But he is awfully excited to be following this and imagining where everybody is at this point.
Yes. And Sarah is currently leading the race across the West for both the men and the women.
How do you know Sarah?
I know Sarah because she came down and did the Heart of the South 500-mile race, and she started 1 minute, I guess, behind me. And she stayed really close, like the whole race. She's super strong. And it was fun to get to know her through that race. And she's from Iowa, does a lot of gravel racing too, which I like. And she's in a really cool part of the course right now. Kristine is just refreshing the page. She's outside of Cortez, Colorado. This is a County Road G that she is on right here. One of the few paved roads in this area. I stumbled upon this road in one of my drives across the country when I was getting from California back to Alabama. And I ended up in Cortez and asked the people at the shop there where I could ride. And they took me down to this Canyons of the Ancients, or they didn't take me, they directed me down to this Canyons of the Ancients monument. So I'm driving down there, get my mountain bike out and go ride in this cool trail with cliff dwellings and everything. And that's what she's in right now. She's in a long valley that gradually climbs. It's a very long climb. It's not a steady climb either. It rolls. There was a long unpaved section last year through here. They were redoing the whole road. I imagine that's finished. But that's coming up. But this is beautiful canyon through here. It looks like she's going to be hitting this. They're 2 hours behind us, so 5:48. Yeah, the sun is starting to get lower in the sky. By the time she gets to Cortez, it'll be closer to sunset. But this is just a beautiful place here. This Mesa, I can't remember if this is Mesa Verde or not. I don't think it is. I think that, yeah, that's down here. But this is a huge mountain. And you're here and you're looking out and you can just see this mountain everywhere you're at.
How far does she have to the finish?
She has, let's calculate it real quick. She has only got 70 miles to go to get to 928 miles. Now that's 70 miles. What is she going to face? She's got that long climb right now, very gradual though. Then she's going to have a little bit of a distraction here. There's a little bit of traffic, some businesses, cool Walmart parking lot there where the time station is.
Raise your hand if you have memories of that Walmart parking lot.
Yes. And then
Luke, Lou, Pete, Wes, Daniel.
Out of that parking lot is where it gets steeper. I mean, you're still climbing for a long time, but the climb now is more noticeable, and it is steady. It's a very long, steady climb. There's one small downhill in here. You can see, at least we could, it'll be dark by the time she gets here, I imagine. I don't know when sunset actually is out there, but some of these peaks up here are snow-capped. I think this is a 14er up here. It's the first snow-capped one you can see. And then it's a long descent. It pretty much is all downhill to Durango once you get over that pass. Fast, too. I remember this. Super fast section.
It's gorgeous.
Big river. You end up, the finish is right alongside this big mountain river.
I think that's where we took our best mountain pictures, was coming up before Durango.
Yeah. All right, so that's Sarah. She is on track to break the women's record for sure, and easily win the men's and women's race this year. So congrats, Sarah. It's still a long way, so anything can happen in Ram, but she is just chugging along really well. All right, so let's move on next to my friend Eric Newsom. So I met at my qualifier for Ram, the 24-hour race in Washington, North Carolina. And then, again, we connected at the Heart of the South race, the same one that Sarah did. And he is doing really well right now. How do I close that?
It's all right. It'll clear.
Okay. So, sorry about that. He is past Flagstaff, flying down this hill. This was so hot last year, and he took a little bit of a sleep break here in Tuba City, I imagine partly because of the heat.
Show him how you can see the sleep break.
So you can see the sleep break if you scroll down past all this, and it's really the second plot here. So you can see a sleep break here was his first one, and this was in Congress, Arizona.
We know it well.
Yes, and then here was a second sleep break. Not sure what this action is. It'll be interesting to hear the details about that later. But it looks like he was sleeping somewhere in here, and then he's on his way again. He is making great time, top 15 for sure. Out of 75, I think they had 75. It's like a record number of entries this year.
A record number of crazy people.
Ram solo, so he is doing really well. And then moving on to the leaders of the race, we've got Pierre. Pierre is a little bit ahead of Sarah. So Sarah's back here starting the long climb into Cortez. Pierre's already on the steeper climb out of Cortez up here into the mountains, Mesa Verde. Current speed, 14 miles an hour. That's pretty crazy. Imagine it will slow down a little bit as he gets to some of the steeper sections. But he is flying along here. His total average speed, 17.1. It's a little bit off because if anybody hasn't figured that out yet, if you have been following the race, everybody's clock started when the first raw racer went, when they first started. So Pierre started roughly an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes after that, and all that is factored into his average speed. So eventually that won't really matter, but now he's probably half a mile an hour faster than that. In actuality, and you can see these are days, hours, minutes. No need to track seconds. So days, hours, minutes, and then you can see that he has only been off the bike stop for 3 hours 4 minutes. But it's actually even less than that because that also includes that initial hour and a half. So he's only been off the bike for an hour and a half, which is insane. He is 900 miles into the race. So kudos to him. He is doing excellent, and you can see the estimate. He'll be in Durango, finish of raw. No.
I think Cortez is his next stop.
No, he's already past Cortez. Right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he'll be at the finish for raw by 9 p.m. And then lastly, Dave Haas, second last year, doing well this year. Not, I think he's a little bit behind pace. I think I read on the Ram website he's about a mile an hour slower than last year.
For his average speed.
For his average speed. But you never know what that means. You know, he could be struggling this year, or he could be pacing himself a little bit better. Well, not that he did a bad job last year; he did amazing. But we're pulling for Dave, hoping that he can pull this out and win it this year. So yeah, I think that's about all the time we have for. Unless my lovely wife would like to add anything.
Nope. It's been good. We're on our Ram hat in solidarity.
Yeah.
It's funny being on this side of the computer rather than watching Brian in through our windshield for 10 days, 14 hours, and 20 minutes last year. So we're kind of enjoying this, and it's a weird mashup of memories and time and experiences. So we're wishing them all luck because we definitely know what they went through.
All right. Well, I'm going to upload this to Facebook. We couldn't do the live feature because it requires professional video equipment or something. If anybody has any experience with that, knows how to do Facebook Live video, shoot or put a comment in there, and we will try and figure that out. All right. That's it for now. Bye. You're supposed to wait.
I know. Bye. I can't figure out.
Okay.